Hello, investors. This is Ted Zhang, Portfolio Manager at Revere Asset Management. Today is Wednesday, December 10th, 5:53 p.m. coming to you from New York City. Stay in the market. We're still in uptrend. Looking at the GROTECTION gauge, we have the four coveted green arrows. Green for market leaders, short-term, medium-term, and long-term trends. What happened today? Dovish cut leads to market-wide strength. 21 over 21 list up 2.45%. 17 stocks up, 2 neutral, 2 down. Turbo 12 down 0.48%. 5 stocks up, 1 neutral, 6 down. Big 8 down 0.49%. RGA up 1.3%. S&P 500 up 0.68%. RSP up 1.41%. The Qs up 0.41%. QQEW up 0.92%. Dow Jones up 1.05%. Midcaps up 1.91%. Russell up 1.32%. Global 60/40 equities bonds up 0.52%. Protection up 1.28%. And Turbo up 0.69%. As you can see, for more interest rate sensitive, the rest of the area besides mega caps saw the strength today. As you can see, RSP outperformed the S&P 500. Equal weighted Qs outperformed the Qs, and then the Dow mid caps and Russell shine today. As always, starting off with the S&P 500 chart, we broke out of this handle, broke above the double bottom base pivot, and we closed 4 points off all-time highs. We had some 68.90 closes, and today we closed at 68.86. We tagged 6,900 briefly. This is looking really good now with the 8 EMA 2150 all stacked and aligned with volume today as well. Again, it was off the dovish Fed cut where everyone came in thinking it's going to be a hawkish cut, but Powell actually rolled back a lot of what he said. And it really, his tone sounded like it was very much dovish. Our SP broke out of the flat base, and really, this is a breakout of a year-long base extending all the way to late 2024. Great action to see the rest of the market participate. Q is also looking to break out his handle above the double bottom base. Elevated volume as well. Great action. Also, moving averages all stacked and rising. QQEW, same thing. Looking to break out of this cup with handle as well. Dow Jones, above 48,000 again. Looking to break out of this flat base. Midcaps, big breakout out of this 1 year long base extending all the way back to 2024. Just great action. Moving averages all aligned as well. Russell, breaking out of a 4-year base. Key moving averages on the weekly are all aligned. Key moving averages on the daily are all aligned as well. And that is just good action right there. VIX drops below 16-15 handle. That's good to see too with volatility coming down. The dollar breaks the bear flag back below all key moving averages, the 8, 21, 50, and 200 after rejecting the 100 UNR level. That is a good sign as well. On the flip side, gold still building out this handle. Watching this closely here. We have this sheet area, this low sheet, and now we have this handle. Let's see what happens with gold. Silver continues to zoom into new highs, up 1.6% today, up another 20 basis points. After hours, this is just a great buy out of this consolidation. Again, for me, all the best trends have come after alignment of key moving averages. IBIT, you can call this a rising wedge, or you can say this is finally trying to get above the 8 and 21 EMAs. With the Fed cutting, liquidity coming back in the market, it's hard to see Bitcoin just completely collapse, but you just never know. Something's happening. The death cross is about to happen on Bitcoin as well, with the 50 crossing below the 200. But the last couple times, the spot Bitcoin chart had the death cross that actually put in below. So we'll see how this trades. Finally, bonds, BND reversed after yields came off, and the same with TLT after the Fed rate cut. That being said, that is it for the inter-asset correlation. Let's go to the tail of the tape and talk about FOMC and some news. We're still operating on the bull case, trading above the 21 EMA. News, of course, the biggest piece of news today was coming out of the Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC, with a 25 basis point, and this time dovish cut, even though markets and a lot of traders thought we were going to see a hawkish cut. Throughout the meeting, Powell's was de-emphasizing the impact on inflation. He said that if there weren't tariffs, there'd potentially not be as much inflation, and that is stabilizing. And then he's shifted towards more worries about the risks on the labor market side of their dual mandate, and the markets clearly received it well. Oracle had earnings released after the bell. They took a beating. They beat earnings but missed on revenues, and not looking good for one of the most consequential names in data centers and AI, down 11% below $200 now, breaking this rising wedge below the 200-day moving average. Now we're down over 50% on Oracle, which is just absolutely insane to see. Perhaps the market's sniffing out some problems with all the debt that they've really taken on for building data centers, and we'll see what happens there. Finally, GEV released forward-year fiscal 2026 guidance, doubled their dividend, and issued another buyback program. This gaps up into new all-time highs, up 15% on the day. News, today's keys, we're watching S&P versus 21 and all-time highs. We closed above the 21 but below all-time highs. 4 points off an all-time high close. The Q, same thing, above 21E, below all-time highs. And then the Russell closed above and broke above into all-time highs, which is great to see at this flat base. Day count up 1 and consolidation 4 to up 1. 11 days above the 8 EMA, 11 days above the 21 EMA. And S&P ATR drops to 1.26%, which is a great sign. We would love to see this drop below 1%, and really that's when a potential smooth uptrend can ensue. Sectors, bonds were up. 7 out of 8 S&P sectors were up. Regional banks, home builders, small caps, solar, copper, gold, and silver. The dollar was down. Utilities, Bitcoin, nuclear, and mega caps were down. In GROTECTION today, we sold EQT, same with in Turbo, and in both portfolios we bought small caps TNA, but in GROTECTION we also bought some Palantir. GROTECTION 1.63 beta, 7.05% rebar. Let's take a look at EQT. EQT natural gas, just a failed breakout, struggled, and now breaking the 821, dumped that. Palantir and GROTECTION breaks up this little 2-day consolidation above the 50-day as well. Got back in there after they announced some naval contracts. And then finally, small caps. We don't have to talk about this too much. Broke out of a 4-year base out of this flat double bottom base as well on volume. That's just great action. And now we're up another 20 basis points after hours too. Turbo, 1.43 beta, 6.51% rebar. Bottom line is dovish cut leads to market-wide strength. Thursday's keys were watching the S&P, or tomorrow's keys were watching the S&P versus 21 and all-time highs. Pretty much the same thing as yesterday's keys. Qs versus 21 all-time highs, and then Russell versus the 21 and all-time highs as well. Bottom line, like I already talked about, dovish cut leads to strength in the markets. And we can see some more strength coming in small caps here. Give me 1 second. Figure this out. You can see there we're up 29 basis point after hours. Q's flat. Looks like tech is lagging a little bit, and S&P is also flat. And let's see, MDY is up 50 basis points. So mid caps and small caps definitely seeing the greatest strength. It's at 618, 64 looking. Mid caps also looking for a new all-time high here. Just a 1-year long base. That's amazing to see. Charts of interest, we already talked about GEV. Caterpillar with their data center division growing 30% year over year, broke out of this flat base back above 600. Just amazing growth here. SEI is the one I have on top focus. This is a name that's definitely under the radar. I haven't really seen people talk about it. We're building this nice cup with handle flat base, if you will. Shakeout today, reclaimed, and now hammer. This nice shakeout could potentially lead to a breakout. I'll take some over today's highs, potentially some over 56. You can see triple-digit earnings the last quarters, triple-digit revenue growth, and provides power generation, distribution, logistics solutions for data centers, energy, industrial sectors. You can see only a 3.7 billion market cap, 37 million shares float, so that can have potential super great power. It IPO'd in 2017, so in the last 10 years as well. These 2025 estimates 137%, 2026 estimates 31%. You can see funds have been accumulating since June of 2025, and they're still below 500 funds. So definitely underowned by institutions. You can see earnings growth rates also 27%. So really good situation here, composite rating 99, above key all moving averages, relative strength lines at a new high, dailies above all key moving averages as well. And this is just looking fantastic. Then Tesla, want to talk about this. Undercut reclaim 411, broke above the 50-day, and now forming this like downtrend line handle type pattern. Definitely look for an add over the high of yesterday, and we'll see what happens then. And then finally, Hood is building a base too. See this double bottom base is forming, 150 is the pivot. We'll see what happens here. The moving averages are still all over the place a little bit, and RS line is lagging a tad bit too. But we own it in GROTECTION. It looks great, and just triple-digit earnings the last 4 quarters. And amazing leadership with Vlad being founder-led. Now we'll go over the 21 list, and then we will actually more charts of interest I want to talk about. Give me 1 second here. So one big piece of news that came out recently is that SpaceX is targeting a $1.5 trillion valuation IPO in 2026. And to me, that could potentially ignite the space and satellite names. Bezos was talking about a year ago, he started a team to look at orbital AI data centers in space. And it seems like this is starting to become a theme, as we've seen Elon Musk talk about it multiple times, Google mentioning it, Mark Benioff, the Salesforce CEO, mentioning it, Mark Andreessen joining that conversation, and now Jeff Bezos entering as well. So Rocket Lab, that's a space name, perking back up above all cumulative averages, still kind of short-term extended. ASTS, similar look to Rocket Lab, but definitely keeping on watch. PKSY, Voyager's a new IPO, Flies something too. SATS has some. So this one's tough because this big move up here was because AT&T and SpaceX acquired part of their Spectrum satellite connection or internet connection and really just went dead. So sometimes when you get these acquisitions of subsidiaries, they kind of just go sideways and do nothing. But this recent move here is a repricing of the SpaceX shares they acquired acquired in exchange for their Spectrum internet. So this is something to watch too. VSAT, it's another satellite name. Manufactured satellites, wireless communication. GSAT is another one too. And there's some rumors this would potentially get acquired by SpaceX as well. So some names to keep on focus, and we'll see what happens here because SpaceX might drive this whole sector next year as a big theme. Putting over 21 list, we'll go over the top moving stocks, and then we'll go over the bottom. There's only 2 stocks that are down today. EXE, natural gas name, failed breakout, breaking the 21 EMA. GH, big bar down, 3-bar break, and now triple inside day inside this bar, or 1 inside 2, 3, maybe even quadruple inside day. So not looking the best as you haven't recovered that big bar down. On the upside, GEV we talked about up 15%. MU is up 4.5%. This memory area continues to be strong. Love breaks out of this huge bottoming base. This is Southwest, potentially in a turnaround situation with Elliott Capital Management taking an active position, being an active investor. Now charging for the bags. They both Southwest before had free bags, and now they're also going to assign seating. Caterpillar, we talked about this one already. Sienna, another name in data center related. Optical components breaks out of this flag as well. And continues to make new highs, which looks great. For solar name also building higher lows, but it's just been historically so choppy, not linear at all. So it's hard to trade. ALB up 3%, makes a new high. It's still lithium name. Cohere, another optical name, breaks out this flag. Nice move higher too. TR robotics name breaks out this falling wedge, continues to make new highs. And CLS up 2%. Manufacturer of electronic products in many sectors looking to break this flag as well. Definitely some linear moves in this one, and we'll see what happens here. In the Turbo 12, GSAT was up 3% today. Nice flag break. continues higher. TSEM, flag break 2, higher as well. Super strength. Biotech pulling back a little bit, but maybe it just needs the base. As Kim, we talked about, well, actually, as Kim, we talked about, COM makes a new high. Communications. This actually fits in that satellite theme as well. On the downside, CFIR was down 5.5%. This just needs to continue to base a little bit. LQDA pulls back below the 8 EMA. See if it gets supported at this previous high. Grail breaks the 21 EMA, down 2.6%. EOSC also just kind of basing here. Power of 3 between the 8, 21, 50, but RS line is well below the highs. And then Lemonade, we own this. Shake out, but close it near the upper ends. Over 80 is the key, and potentially we can get going here. This looks great. Earnings are starting to accelerate again. Revenue is starting to accelerate again too. And 4-year guidance is strong as well for revenue growth. That being said, that'll wrap up the review of our lists. And that will wrap up today's video. FOMC, dovish cut leads to market-wide strength. And we'll see if this continues tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me at ted@revereasset.com. My Twitter X is TedHZhang. Phone is 855 Real Wealth. That is 855-732-5932. Website is revereasset.com, and our other social medias are at Revere Asset on YouTube, X, Instagram, and TikTok. Please follow us there, as we actually started a new initiative for new short form content of each of our daily videos. Really quick little segment to review if you are lacking the time, and we'd appreciate a lot if you can like, subscribe, and share. That being said, this is Ted Zhang, portfolio manager at Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thanks for listening, and have a great rest of your week.